I sure am.
Okay.
May I say about the Timberwolves what I always say when they play well? Why can't they do that every night?
Well, here's one reason they made 21 out of 42 threes. The other team didn't guard them. That helped.
That's key.
They were all open. The Lakers are.
A lot of times LeBron did not get back on defense.
No.
He'd walk down the court.
And Luka, the fat ass that he is waddling around. His big move on defense is to point at the guy that just went by him. Guard that guy. Somebody do something. I mean, he's a wonderful offensive player, but he's terrible defense.
The shot of Ant taunting him after he drilled that massive three-pointer was fantastic.
Yes, right. Well, Ant took a lot of that beating
last year
during the playoffs. So,
when that boy's motivated, he can play some ball, man.
Plus, he had 9 assists.
Yeah.
Why did Dallas get rid of him?
Money.
Because Joe, the NBA has this now super max thing.
Are you sitting down, Mayor?
And if you're with your original team, he would be making on a deal the last year, but would be $300 million for the season.
Goodness.
It's in the high 200s, and they just don't trust him to stay in shape. You know, he's a tremendous talent, but he's not a hard worker.
That's about 65 per. Is that about right? 65 million per year?
Oh, no.
Is it more than that?
That's the 1 year deal. That's the 1 year, I think.
Not 300 million for 1 year.
I think it's no. It is. Cat's making what now? 235 or something.
But that's on a 5-year deal.
No,
Pat, he's not
no.
making $200 million for a season.
Yes.
Okay.
Are the Knicks in the playoffs?
Yeah, they beat the Detroits. Hang on, let me look up that number. Hang on,
I think.
let me look it up. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Super max.
Super max.
What's the super max?
NBA.
Yeah, but then what do you get the year after that?
It's a 3. I think it's a 3-year contract or something. I'm not
In
sure.
the NBA, Supermax contract is a designated veteran player of extension. The type of contract allows a team to re-sign a player for up to 35% of the salary cap for a maximum of 5 years. So I'll have to look up what the salary cap is. I don't know that it's that much for 1 year, but I'll dig into it and I'll see how much it is actually for.
That's an incredible.
But it's an insane amount of money.
Yeah, it is.
On average, it would be around $66 million per season.
Okay, yeah, that's what am I thinking of?
Well, I didn't see anything, given the fact that I'm very knowledgeable about basketball. I didn't see anything to suggest the Lakers should win this 7 games.
But they just got hit in the face and didn't know what to do about it, and they didn't guard anybody. They just kind of wandered around, and they're going to play better. They're going to guard somebody. LeBron's going to get his act together, and Doncic is, I don't know, going to have to play a little different kind of game. But yes, I would say that Timberwolves are a deeper team, and certainly the fact that they shared the ball like they shared it was incredible. Yeah. Unbelievable.
But boy, LeBron likes to whine. Oh my God!
Did you hear the quote of the night
after the
for
game?
the play-by-play guy?
I did not.
When LeBron got kind of tackled that time,
Sure.
and he was crying, and he says, "And he's not a complainer."
Oh, my God.
Really?
Are you kidding me?
LeBron. No, he doesn't have to complain because they just give him the calls, for goodness sakes.
Wow.
He's not a complainer.
Now, he didn't seem to get a lot of calls.
Well, they did not have a foul as a team
That's right.
until 4 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah.
So that either is telling you they're playing incredibly soft defense, or the referees were, I don't know. The referees, the NBA, it seems like every other league, when the playoffs start, they say, let them beat each other up more than they do
In the regular season,
In the regular season, that's certainly in the NFL and certainly in the NHL to some degree. But it was quite a performance, that's for sure. And more than anything, the way they moved the ball to each other was pretty fantastic.
Joe, for LeBron, you know what he couldn't do? Play hockey.
No, he'd be. He too frequently pretends he's hurt.
Well, he'd be a big power forward though. He'd be a big old fella, but he's 40 for God's sakes. You know, I don't know. If you're a Wolfies fan, you don't want to get terribly overconfident. Last year they went in and beat the hell out of Denver twice.
Yeah.
On the road. Came home and lost the next 3.
Yeah, that's right.
Lost the next 3, and then they won the last 2. But I tell you one thing, Coach Finchie, no matter what the lead gets to be, he ain't going to that bench, man. He's 8 deep. That's it. He's taking all the crusty old veterans. He let that Clark get on the court for about 3 minutes until they gave up. He didn't give up. He didn't put in the young guys at all. They do not. They play their 8. That's it.
That's the big complaint now coming out of New York. What? Tibbs doesn't play enough guys in New York. He said, That's who Tibbs is. That's what he do.
And they were in trouble, and then all of a sudden they scored 21 straight.
I didn't realize how good Detroit. I watched a fair amount of that game. I didn't realize how good Detroit is.
And they're mean too.
Because they've got Bickerstaff. I didn't realize he was the coach there.
What's the best team in the league? Oklahoma City?
Yes.
Or Cleveland?
Oklahoma City was ahead of Memphis 121 to 66.
Something like
that. And their superstar, the guy's going to be the MVP, Alexander
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, he had 15 points. He just let everybody else do it. You know, they ended up in the Western Conference, best it's ever been, deepest. They ended up 68-14.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is incredible. And it was. That's the trouble with the NBA playoffs. When you get 7 versus 2 and 8 versus 1, they're usually ass kicking.
Plus, now with the play-in, they've already had to play a game or 2 to even get to that point.
You think the Twins could win 68 games this year?
What are we, 7 and 15?
Not if they follow the Reusse strategy, which is get rid of everybody. Call up. Clark Griffith's still alive, right? Mm-hmm. Call up Clarky, ask him if he's got written down Calvin's game plan from '82 when he traded everybody. Mm-hmm. Smalley and Whitiger and Corbett and everybody. Trade everybody. You stink.
They can't drive in runs.
Well, they're terrible. Mm-hmm. The lineup is, I can't stand it. It's and the catcher. I don't care about his framing. 3 for 30. Mm-hmm. He's a complete embarrassment. Just get rid of him. Start getting rid of some of these guys. The guy from St. Paul, Camargo, he's a big guy. He's not a great catcher. So what? Get somebody in. He might hit a home run sometime this month. Damn, I hate him. I hate him. But I hated him from the start of the year.
You did. You did say this.
I was in on this from the start of the year. I did not like this lineup at all. And then, of course, not having Wallner doesn't help. He's an okay player.
What about Reusse? Is he ever coming back?
I don't know. I haven't heard.
How about this, by the way? I didn't know this until our buddy Roscoe sent this to me this morning. This was a graphic from, I believe, the game on Saturday. Correa, Buxton, and Lewis combined have been in the lineup 31% of the time together. All 3 of them.
That much? I wouldn't guess that much.
Oh, you thought it was lower than that?
It'd be lower than that.
I think I have that right.
Buck looks good.
Sorry, all 3 in the same starting lineup only 39 times during that span.
Percent.
Yeah, sorry, you're right. It's 11%.
Since Lewis broke in, is that it? Oh yeah.
Buxton has not been hurt.
He looks good. The rest of them stink. But it's
Who's this new kid they just brought up? He was with the Saints.
Kishel. How do you pronounce his last?
Kishel.
Can he play?
He can hit.
Yeah.
He can hit. I think
He's without a position,
they
though, right?
say that he's. Julian's a terrible second baseman. Mm-hmm. They say this guy might be worse.
Oh boy.
So, although I'd say Julian has improved, although the other day he had 12 minutes to make a double play, and instead of running across the bag and then getting himself free and throwing it over to first base, he catches it and steps into the runner. Ended up throwing the ball into 20 feet. I'm
sorry I brought the Twins up today.
You know what, though? I think, you got the arch rival Whiteys in town tonight.
Yeah.
I think pretty good
Tomorrow
crowd.
night.
I thought we played
They don't
tonight.
play tonight.
Oh, we're off?
Yep.
Wow, that's good. I thought it was a 4-game showdown series. It's not.
Let me go to twinsbaseball.com.
Tuesday. They play Tuesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay.
All right. Well, glad I didn't go.
Are you
tonight.
saying tickets might be available?
I think there could be. Look up.
Yeah,
look
it's-
up one of the sites, will you?
The
See
StubHub?
See what they're going for, would you?
My God, the White Sox are 5-17.
Yes, they are.
Let's go to the old StubHub, shall we, and see what we got for ticket price. You're just looking for the get-in price of our local 9.
No, I just want to know what people are trying to get on StubHub for Tuesday's game.
Hey, selling fast is what it says on the website. Right now, well, not too bad. You can get in for about $11.
Okay.
It looks like.
And that's a.
That might go down.
That might go down
before
to
tomorrow.
11 cents before the. I don't know, Joe. It's time to admit that you're trying to hang on to nothing here. It's time to get going.
They're going to
Unfortunately, they're stuck with Correa for $200 million. So
they'll host a tired White Sox team.
Oh, Whitey's playing today?
Oh, wait. They played at 10 a.m. today. Is this the Boston Marathon
Oh,
day?
yes, it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Who won?
I don't
The
know.
Red Sox.
I'm going to assume
You've
somebody.
covered that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a word in the paper about the Boston Marathon, the lead-up. I didn't know. It's today.
Yeah, so we don't. God almighty, if we get a blood graph in, it'll be a miracle.
Sharon Lokedi. Oh, that's the female winner for your Boston Marathon.
Was she Ethiopian?
She is from Kenya.
Kenya.
She's from Kenya.
All right.
Won a thrilling battle over two-time defending champion Helen Obiri at the Boston Marathon today, smashing the course record in the process. She won it in 2 hours, 17 minutes, and 22 seconds.
Women are running 2:17 marathon.
That's fast, Pat.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And who won the men?
I'm gonna look that up.
Ethiopian or Kenya? Ethiopian or Kenya?
Jay Career. John Career joins brother as Boston Marathon's champion on the men's side. He is from, where is he from? He's also of Kenya, from Kenya.
Pat, that
2
was
hours and 4 minutes.
Isn't there anything Trump can do about this?
No.
Can he just, not.
He could forbid them to enter the country.
He could forbid them to enter the country. That's true. Or tell them.
Make the marathon great again.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it hasn't been since Beardsley won it 40 years ago, right?
Now, the White Sox and the Red Sox played at 10 a.m.
Yes.
today. Will the Star Tribune have that score in tomorrow's paper?
Yes, the box score.
All right.
So we're running. The only thing we're running is baseball box scores, and we run as many as we can fit in. If there's too many, they just don't get in.
Is the Boston Marathon the one where you sat on the truck and the poor guy was sucking in fumes the whole
Yeah, we
ride?
sat in a flatbed truck 10 feet from the lead runners who had to suck in that exhaust the whole way.
Yes, and then go in and puke.
Oh,
in
they'd puke.
In the Prudential, there's huge, underneath the Prudential Center, there's this huge garage that they empty out for the marathon, and then everybody comes in and puts
on silver foil,
Yeah,
and then goes heaves their guts out. I thought it looked great. It was fun.
The place is like, it's like the smell. It's like a stockyard.
When I went to go pick her up after she completed it, that's all that was in that little family area is vomit, and it's
What
Not
year
a good
did the
scene.
bride run it?
She ran it in 2000. It was either 2009 or 2010. I can't.
You ever think of
it was
running it
2010.
with her?
I actually, when she first started, I thought, you know what, we could do this together.
Yeah, right.
And I got about a week or two, and I went, this ain't for me.
You got 140 pounds on her.
Now, is she done running marathons?
Oh yeah, she's been. In fact, I think that was her last one. That was
Did you ever
2010.
run the one up north?
Oh yeah, she did Duluth 3 times. She's done the Twin Cities 2 times. She did Boston once, and I might miss someone. I think that might be it.
Remember what a phenomenon that was in the 70s
Yeah.
when it started? We all like saying, these people, they start up in 2 harbors and they run to Duluth. And
Yeah.
when it was Star Tribune, I remember we were in St. Paul then, but I remember that you were in Minneapolis, but the Star Tribune had like rented a lab,
A loft.
a machine that they could take photos from, go up, the truck with a telephone pole size thing on it. Unbelievable.
Wow.
What do you remember that? They down at the finish, they'd have all these photos, and they'd had a special section on grandmas, for God's sake.
Wow.
All I remember about marathons is a guy named Speedy called us.
Oh yeah,
In
Speedy.
the Twin Cities Marathon.
Speedy Johnson.
Speedy Johnson. He
Very
was
offended
very
by it.
upset by the whole thing, the way it worked
Yes,
out.
well, he was very offended with the throwing up, but also the peeing.
Oh,
yeah, he
sure.
didn't like that.
Running behind, running
Behind the tree.
They get behind the trees up on Summit there. They're all peeing behind the trees.
He just
He
very
thought that-
appalled by
Yeah,
that.
he was very, very upset. Speedy, for several years, he'd call and
Speedy
report.
Johnson, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Speedy Johnson would call and
Well,
report that he saw more urinating outside and he did not approve.
Wasn't it also, is it Janice? Did she ever run anything but the Twin Cities Marathon?
Janice, the smoking marathon runner, has only run the Twin Cities Marathon.
Okay, she never made it out to Boston.
No,
Okay.
never. I don't think she could qualify.
She
I
might
think
still be running it now.
Boston has got, you have to qualify, don't you?
Yes, you do. Yep.
So what's your bride run them in? 3:10 or so back then?
I think her fastest was about 3:14, something like
Pretty
that.
good.
Yeah.
But she ran this one a few times.
The Boston, she took her time because she knew she didn't want to really, because we were out
She
there
took
for.
this up after her volleyball career ended,
Yes.
or what?
Yes.
Okay.
She became a runner.
I didn't
after
know
that.
she was a volleyball
Oh,
player
she was, yes.
for the university system.
Well, that she only did it her freshman year, but then she was on the what do you call it, the not intramural team, the club team.
I
After
see.
that, yeah.
I see.
Those were some fun games to go to. That's Pat can attest.
Yes, we're big volleyball fans. So I was over there the other day.
Were
I
you?
did a column on Stella Swenson. Who's,
I like the name Stella.
Stella is Samantha.
We don't foghorn that.
She's Samantha Seliger Swenson's one of the 2 twin sisters of her. And, Samantha was great. I loved her, and, got a lot of quotes from her, but it was hard work. Not so with Stella. Stella is a quote machine, and she's a redshirt freshman, and she's going to be something. He should have a pretty good team this year. Keegan, it's no longer Huey's team. It's his team in year 3. So,
Oh, yeah, I made a note. Pat, we do this day in history all the time on
okay,
Garage
what do we
Logic.
do?
20 years ago today, your favorite sports column in history when you said, I will pay you money to write this column.
Okay.
Ontario Smith and the Whizzinator.
Smith, yes.
Originator.
Yep.
20 years ago today.
Glenn Crevier calls me up and says, hey, Kevin Seifert, who's the best beat writer we ever had, do anything, Vikings. Kevin Seifert has a story about Ontario Smith trying to get through security at the airport with a urine machine, the original
prosthetic
Whizzinator.
penis.
And he had it confiscated, and they took it. They basically wouldn't let him in because he had, and the story says it wasn't his; it was his cousin's. He
That's
was
right.
taking it to
Using his cousin's Whizzinator.
And I was off, and he says, "You want to write a column?" I said, "I'll give you $50 to write this column if you let me If you let me write this column, I'll give you a 50 for goodness.
You would be willing to pay them.
Yes, right.
That's how much I want to write this column.
What a great relative to have, isn't
Yes!
it?
I was going to say, I bet you focused on the cousin.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Ontario.
Yeah.
Ontario, hey, I heard you're flying here back to Boston. When I was in a hotel last time, I left my Whizzinator in there. Can you bring it for me?
Bring it back with you.
Sure, no problem.
What a time to be alive.
God, I love athletes. They're such morons. Ja Morant, I was talking today about Ja. You know, now Ja's got suspended for a year, basically, for doing, criminal stuff. It's crazier than a hoot owl. So the league tells him, they fine him $75,000 for making a three-pointer and shooting a gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now he has to get the hand grenade. I mean, did it ever occur to you that you make a three and just go, hey, yay? And
How about not do anything?
Either not do anything or just go, hey, I'm
great.
happy, and run down to the other end.
Why do you have to pull the pin on a grenade?
You need a gimmick after you make a three. I wonder how the gimmicks were working last night when they were down 50. Did he make a three and go, hey? What a moron he is, man alive. Talented, though. Man, he can drive. But anyway, let's see. We got that.
I like golfers who win after long travails.
Justin, man, a long
3 years.
time. And he was in there for a while at Augusta, and then went in the tank again. And he's had a tough time. Was he ever a great putter, do you think?
I don't know. I don't think so. Mm-hmm. But he showed some grit yesterday.
Yes, he did. And they had the all-star field.
Yeah.
Now, Rory didn't have to play because it was one of those.
It's a designated tournament, wasn't it?
Yeah, because they only had 78 players.
I meant to get the payout.
Rory wasn't
I want to
there.
get the payout.
$3 million, I think.
The Masters this year was 4.
Yeah, well, it should be.
What was that called? The RBC?
RBC Harbor Spring.
I want to live there.
Really?
I want to live in Hilton Head.
I was down there once.
I never been there, and I love the. I just want to get in the boat when they have the golf tournament.
Carl Peterson and his wife, the great Carl, always rented a spot down there. So Katie and I went down there one time and spent out a few days and played some golf, and it's beautiful. But
here it is, RBC Heritage Purse. Let's see what we got here. I don't like all these ads. You get, holy cow! Everybody in third place got over $1 million. $3.6 million.
Ooh, that's
for the win.
That's a nice.
Is that right?
This thing.
Wow.
It's
for a non-major.
Yeah. You got
Holy cow!
You got these 8 designated events.
$3.6 million. Andrew Novak, second place, $2,160,000.
Andrew just had a good tournament. Was he? He played okay at Augusta, right?
Berger, Mackenzie Hughes, Brian Harmon, $1,040,000.
You know who's playing pretty good, and he kind of popped up here last year? Maverick McNeely is playing pretty good.
Oh, and I meant to look. Did Joel Damon win in Puerto Rico?
Blew it.
He did.
Choked like a dog. Yeah.
Oh no.
You know this Maverick McNeely?
Yeah, I don't know him.
His dad is the founder of one of the big tech companies.
Yeah.
Out in California.
You're telling me when he was a kid he could get a tea towel?
Yes, he could. And he was a great player at Stanford, of course, I think. And he's kind of out there playing, and he seemed like a nice guy. I did a column on him last year at the 3M, but there's not pressure on it. He doesn't have that boy. If I don't make this putt, I don't know where I'm going to get my
so
next
he's not
deal.
driven by financial need.
No, because Dad, I gotta look up his dad. Maverick McNeely. Who's his dad?
You want me to do it quick?
I got to tell you, I can.
Okay.
Well, I can do it right here. I got this thing
Maverick
open.
McNeely, father. Do that.
Maverick, M-A-V-E-R-I-C-K.
Yeah. We got,
Must be a Top Gun
Maverick
fan.
McNeely.
MC, capital Nealy.
Maverick McNeely.
Father.
Well, I'm trying there, Pat. I don't have father. Who was the father of Maverick McNeely? All right, and we come up with this answer. The father is Scott, an American businessman who, for God's sakes, he co-founded Sun Microsystems.
Jesus.
Yes.
Okay.
Mom, Susan, graduated from Stanford. That's where Scott earned his MBA. And
Do we have a Scott's estimated wealth there?
well, I'd have to do that. I'd have to find that out. So Maverick McNeely. Let's do this. No, that's Maverick. I want Scott. God, I hate this
Estimated
thing.
wealth.
Scott.
It was so much more fun where we could look through old papers, take about 3 weeks. Scott McNeely, net worth. He's 70 years old now, Scott. Net worth, where is it? Come on, let's go. Awards. Well, why don't they tell me what his net worth is?
I can do it.
He's got 4 children: Maverick, Colt, Dakota, and Scout.
They're all foghornable.
I
Yes,
got you
they
right
are.
here. I'll just give one of these here. There we go.
Yeah.
M-A-C-K.
MC.
No, I know. N-E-A-L-Y.
Nealy. Estimated worth is not on his wiki here.
Here it comes right up. Scott McNeely net worth. I can tell you that he's worth $1 billion.
$1 billion. Just one?
Just
That's
a bill?
Lousy
Just a
bill.
What the
That's-
heck?
He couldn't even buy the
He couldn't
twins.
buy the twins, for God's sake.
He's
You
a,
think these guys should have taken the plunge when they had a chance?
Which guys?
The poll ads, if whoever was the first person to offer 1.2, they should have taken it. That by the time this year's over, you know what? I said this earlier today. It is easier to get war plans from Pete Hegseth than it will be to find out how many subscriptions the Twins have sold to
Apple
Twins-
TV or whatever.
to Twins TV. It'll be much easier to know who we're attacking next, exactly when and how, from Pete Hegseth than it will be how many people are watching Twins TV.
Well,
There's no doubt about it.
I don't know if this is where Maverick grew up, but they listed the San Francisco mansion for $54 million.
54 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably had his own bedroom.
I bet he did. He wasn't sleeping in a bunk bed.
No.
Oh, it's $100 million now, the mansion. Holy mackerel. $100 million
You know,
mansion.
some of these guys, too, these geniuses, they started off with like nothing but an idea. And I told you about my guy, Johnny Houck, right? One of my best buddies from Fulda, right?
Never heard of him.
Johnny, mother owned the little bar in Kimbry, Dolly. It was great. And he was a single mom. And Johnny was a buddy of mine. I think he was a class valedictorian or second, might have been second, salutatorian. But he and another guy, he became a chemist, and they invented color in a garage, how to color plastics.
Yeah.
A system for color plastics. And when we had our 50th reunion, his address was 1 Ocean Drive in.
Well, you did tell me about this. Yeah.
1 Ocean Drive, not 3. 1 Ocean
One.
Drive in Santa someplace.
So let me get this straight. He's in Fulda.
yes.
He's inventing a way to color plastic.
No, he went to college, and he had a college buddy.
This was about the time you were building a doghouse.
I bet he would have wished he had my handiwork around.
He hears a noise. He's inventing plastic coating, and there's a ruckus out on the street.
Yeah,
and he looks
pounding.
out, and it's a dog towing his own house.
Johnny, what do you think? Can we sell these? You think we could have a factory of portable doghouse? Actually, the best way to have it is to sell it, to have a small dog.
That's right. Yeah, you want a small dog. It prevents the towing.
A Chihuahua doghouse.
What do you got going out there, Royce? I made a doghouse that the dog is stealing.
It's mobile. It's a mobile
It's
dog.
a mobile doghouse.
Some kid from the neighborhood came down. Some girl, about a 12-year-old girl, came down, knocked on the door. I come out. She says, "Your dog is running down the street, carrying his doghouse." I said, "Oh shucks."
And then some guy's on his way to number
I
one
just
Ocean
thought
Drive.
I put him on his honor system.
Yeah,
I
you
thought
can't do that.
What was that dog's name? He got hit by a car when he was about 2. He was a pain in the ass.
You know why? He didn't have a permanent structure to keep
Was
it
it a
mobilized.
Doberman? Wasn't it a...
No, it was
A lab? He had to have been a lab if he's a hunting dog.
No, he wasn't on.
Oh, he wasn't a hunter.
Just
Okay.
something for the kids.
Springer?
They were killing them left and right. The third one lasted pretty good, but I think the first 2 made it to about a combined 3.
Not to ask an insensitive question about a dearly departed dog, but when he was hit by the car, was the house still attached to him? It's in the middle of the highway.
No,
Because you'd think the driver would have saw that and said, "Oh, I
the
can't
other
hit
one, we
this."
were living out in the country. When we first moved out to the country, and we had that one you just let run around, And what was that dog? That was a nice dog. And he got smoked, too, down there. Even living out in the country, he got smoked. Made it he was about 1.5.
We had a dog that disappeared and came back about 2 years later.
Yeah, that's it.
And had been living in Minneapolis.
Of course, we had Fanny who moved.
Yeah, he moved. He didn't like your outfit.
We paid no attention when we walked by and growling. 3 houses down the block, if you went by her. I'm not going back to your place.
Oh.
Mabel Peter. Mabel liked him.
Yeah.
He just was on his own.
I can't breathe because I'm still laughing about the guy that's on One Ocean Drive. He's in there making plastic, and you're pounding bent nails into a plywood trying to make a doghouse.
You know what he built it with? Boards.
I need some boards.
I need boards.
What did I do? I had another thing this weekend I was trying to fix. I finally gave up. What the hell was it? It was something.
Joe was explaining. So, did you guys talk about the Pope already, or was that off the air?
I think it was off the air.
Okay, because we were discussing
What the
the
heck
process.
He went out and said hello at Easter Sunday.
My
right?
guy told you I had a granddaughter
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
Right. And would he make the veranda so she's waving
I
at
don't know that he made the veranda. He did make the go-kart, or what do you call that, Pope-mobile.
Pope-mobile.
Yeah. I'm wondering now, do you think he'll go out in a pine box? I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to be a poor. He's
Yeah,
not going to do all ornate stuff. No,
Yeah.
not this guy. He's South American.
Who was the guy with the patent leather shoes? The fancy Pope.
Oh, the one before this, the German?
The German.
Yeah, the German.
I don't think he would have settled for a pine box.
No, German. He was not a.
Do they got their own? Do they got a certified undertaker?
He was one of the first
Yeah, okay.
Germans in a long time. We're going to go back to an Italian.
I
this
think
time.
so.
I got to go back to the home court advantage. That's what I always say. It's
I'm predicting maybe a Pope of color or Asia, perhaps. Or...
Did you go to what foreign country did you go to when you went to St. Thomas for your J term?
I don't think I got as far as Stillwater.
It is amazing. J term. Is this J term or is she over there for an entire semester?
She's been there since January.
Oh, and so the
But
whole
there's another
semester.
one over there too.
Okay.
Another from a different kid I used to have. The last one we got from her was on a catamaran in Malta.
And this is education.
No, they're not going to school. It's the biggest scam I've ever seen in my life.
Well, with Ryan, he only had the quarter, the month,
Yeah.
the J-term month in Ireland to get us 101. He got
Yeah.
a very good grade. Yeah. But yeah.
They say they go to school. I don't have any evidence
Well,
of
what
that.
would you, art or what would you
Biology for one, and
Okay.
hospitality for the other one.
say? Hey,
Hey, she's working the Ryder Cup.
Yes.
And I said to her father, imagine how excited she'd be if she knew what that was.
Where is it this year?
Beth Page.
Oh, yes. Okay.
No, but she's a very serious student of, well, she works the Masters, and she gets big league jobs.
Yes. Yeah. I wonder what the tab for those houses in the Masters now has got to be unbelievable.
Well, I told you, Roy rented two of them.
Really?
One for the wife and kid, and one for him.
Wow. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And you made the observation that thing isn't
That was a little off.
that thing isn't patched up because you're right. If you meet the wife at the green,
Yep.
you always walk.
You take her on the walk of victory.
Yes, and she was not.
He left her in the lurch.
Well, I think she wanted to be left in the lurch. Did she give him a little kind of
They might have had a little cheek contact.
thing, yes.
Yeah.
you know?
Then he goes up and he couldn't get his tongue any farther down the throat of Justin Rose's wife. No, I don't think he did. But he was hugging Justin Rose's wife for a
Much
long
more-
time.
Much more aggressively.
Oh, well, much more sincerely.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, my theory is, and I've never really experienced it, but my theory is, as an observer of cheating, when caught, many times it's patched up, but it's never really patched up. I don't think.
Yeah, well,
I don't think. You know.
They just got to a
Robert,
point where they don't like us
Yes,
anymore.
that's right.
it doesn't have anything to do with anything.
That's right. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So we had a very low-key Easter because the bride was not feeling good. So
Just the two of you?
just the two of us.
So you got to watch whatever you want.
Yes, I did watch the whole thing. She wasn't feeling good, and you know what isn't? I got it. Did I tell you this? You know what isn't what it used to be?
Good Friday.
Good Friday.
Well, you told me that Friday.
I went to the restaurant, right? The place up the street.
Yeah.
Good Friday to get some takeout. You know,
Yeah.
Not that, and the place was jam
Really?
packed, hard drinking, and there were a few Catholics in there. I could, old guys, old 70-year-old,
Yeah.
guy. I was talking to these guys. They're all full of whiskey. Good Friday ain't what it used to be.
Used to be a little more somber.
Yes, it did.
We weren't allowed to talk.
Really?
Not at 3 o'clock.
No.
I suppose,
Well,
yeah.
it went from noon to 3. Noon to 3.
Well, no, we did 3 to maybe 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Faldo was noon to 3.
But it was serious business.
Oh, but the other
I think
thing-
what you mean by it's not what it used to be, it's just you're thinking it's not universally shared as a somber.
Everything's open.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not. you know,
Stock market was closed.
they still do that.
Yeah.
The New York influence, the Catholic influence in New York used to be huge. I don't think it is what it used to be.
Well, the market wasn't open.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's not as sobering as it might have been.
No, but
Well, I'll tell you what.
Easter
I'll
Sunday
give you
is
another example. Palm Sunday ain't what it used to be.
no.
We used to march around the block and then into the church.
Yes.
And now you march around a few pews to equate the march into Jerusalem. That's not long enough.
Do you get the palms though?
Oh yeah, I'd still get
Yeah,
the
you
palms.
still get the palms. Okay.
And all women now do with those palms is they make things out of them.
Really?
They braid them, and they can make things and decorate with them. And I don't know.
Try that.
I don't. Well, I didn't. I didn't know how to do it myself.
Yes. Okay. What? There's got to be something else going on out there in the sports world beyond our local teams. I don't know. Not really. Right.
Well, you got the big NFL draft coming up.
Oh, heavens yes.
But
Thursday.
I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about that.
With the Wild playing and the Timberwolves playing and the Twins being a local embarrassment, will be more fired up for the draft than anything else.
Now it's in Green Bay.
I was just going to say,
morons are going to be over there.
I was reading something over the weekend. They're expecting 700,000 people there this weekend.
No.
Yes.
They don't have hotel rooms.
I was listening to somebody on a national show, and they basically said the closest you can get for a hotel room, I think, is Milwaukee. Right now.
I got a question for you. What? I got a question for you. Your team's in the playoffs, okay? In football, in hockey or something.
Mm-hmm.
And you got this square downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Why do people come and stand there, uncomfortable, with a bunch of other idiots, and they're probably paying $18 for a beer to be there, right?
Yep.
What's the object?
To be on the scene, to be part of the festivities.
Go to the neighborhood.
So you don't want to come to the Miller Lite draft party at US Bank Stadium with me and the boys?
No, I don't. But that makes more sense than standing outside for 4 hours in Toronto when you know they're going to break your heart.
Yeah. They were doing it in Winnipeg, too, and Toronto didn't break their heart. They kicked the hell out of Ottawa.
Yes, they did. I know. Yeah. But eventually, they're going to break your heart.
Let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
What do you do in Green Bay that many people? What happens?
You
show your enthusiasm.
You experience the vibe, Joe.
But now, are they going to fill up Lamb? Are they going to do it from Lambeau or outside?
I thought that they have a stage outside of Lambeau Field. I thought that's what I saw online.
Well, the whole point would be that's the holy grail of football is Lambeau Field.
Right, have it inside.
Have it inside.
Yeah, maybe they will. I guess the only photo I saw
they
is
really like the idea of a massive
crowd outside of
piece,
the
so you can take the aerials.
You know what's going to be great is the Packers have the pick in front of the Vikings, I believe. I think they're 23rd. The Vikings.
Are drafts traditionally held outdoors?
They have been the last few years because the NFL can make it an event.
Oh, God.
Please, God, let it rain.
Help me.
What's going to be great, though, is if the Packers end up trading out of the first round. Because they notoriously, like to move within the draft. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, they won't care that the fans aren't happy.
No, that'd be great.
Or maybe we can pop up ahead of them.
Think so?
Great. Yeah.
That's the big rumor, Joe. What are the Vikes going to do? Move up or move down? What do you think?
I don't know. I really don't. I've been worried about it.
I think we only have one columnist out there because of all the other responsibilities. And
are you going to Green Bay?
No, I'm going to pass.
Boy, did I get a look from him.
I wouldn't go to it if it was in the Barley's parking lot down the street.
I'm trying to find it.
To me, I don't watch it at all anymore because why? Just look at your phone.
I never have. I
Just
never
look
understood
at your phone
it.
and see who got taken. What difference does it make?
I'm trying to find the best of that we had from Sports Talk where the guy, he obviously was new to the program and called in for your guys' hot Vikings draft day.
Yeah.
I can't find it anywhere right now.
I think we humiliated
Oh,
him.
you did. Hey, buddy, we don't know.
Who are you kidding, pal? What makes you think it's a sports show?
Yes.
All right, that's enough.
All right, I better sell a car.
Sell a car.
What are you going to buy, Pat?
Do you know the name of the Buick station wagon?
Well, we got
They make a nasty-looking station
I
wagon.
don't think they call it a station wagon.
Yeah, it's a station wagon to me, and it's pretty cool.
They got 4 different
The
varieties.
Envision,
of
Joe?
the
Is it the Envision?
Could be the Envision.
Very handsome.
Or a Buick
Everybody
Regal
loves-
Tour wagon?
Maybe, whatever's the wagon.
Okay.
The Regal Tour wagon. Yes, I think that's it. That's the only Regal thing
is a
they
neat-
make now.
It is a neat looking vehicle. Is this it right here? The red one? Is that it?
That might be it.
Okay.
But is there another wagon?
Well, that's the first one that popped up.
Because they're kind of
Is that it? The Regal 2?
Damn near that passed for a Mercedes-Benz station wagon.
It is very
they're,
sharp.
Flying horse, you'd think that's a Benzie.
if you look at their ads are all over the place on the sports events, the Buick and the Envision and the other SUVs, looking terrific. And now you got Joe's endorsement here. So anyway, Jim Paul and Brett Paul, Valley Group of GM dealers. Right now, an incredible amount of stock available right there. Inventory. SUVs, tremendous prices, 24, 25s, and all kinds of them. Right, you can drive out there and take one home about 12 hours later once they got it all fixed up. So Jim Paul and Brett Paul, low interest rates and high rebates and a lot of different options right now. Jim Paul and Brett Paul, go to the Apple Valley store and get yourself an SUV.
Beautiful.